Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Mary and I give you an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you could hit the subscribe button and stayed for a while. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you more than you know. So as you can tell from the title of the video, we're going to look at the Sephora app and go under Sephora's Best Sellers and see what items are the hotcakes right now. Now, I do know that typically when it's new launches, they do make the list just because the purchases are a lot higher since it's a new item. Some of the newer items, I would take that with a grain of salt just because they're a popular commodity right now. But we're going to go through the list on Sephora and we're going to apply some of the items that I personally own, and I will tell you if I agree or not with them being bestsellers. So if that sounds like a video you would love to see, then just go ahead and keep on watching. Okay, so I am on the Sephora app, and if you go under shop and go all the way at the bottom, and right here is best sellers. So that's where I'll be going. The Sephora collection, the Danessa Myricks Lightwork 5 is on here. The new House Concealer, the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Liquid Blush, that I do definitely believe, I feel like that is a very good product that sells a lot. So let's see if I can find, I don't think I remember seeing primers on here. The Ordinary Hyaluronic Acid, the Niacinamide, the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow PHA, I don't have that. The Tatcha Water Cream, I have tried it, really good. I can see why it's in here. Okay, hair is pulled back and I did not see a primer on the list. Most of them were serums, face creams, and sunscreens. I already have all of my skincare, so I went ahead and just applied my current rotation for my primers. But I did see this here, which is the Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury. This is such a popular item that so many companies, makeup companies that is, out there have pretty much tried to create a more affordable dupe for this, and they've been pretty successful at coming really close to it. Elf, for example, but Miss Charlotte did it first. And the original size retails for $49, and the mini, which is the one that I have, retails for $19. I'm not going to lie, I am glad I have the mini because I don't use this enough to warrant actually having a full-size one. So 5.5 is the shade. That is the one thing too, is with the normal size, I think you have more options as far as shades go. 5.5 is the shade of the foundation that I wear, the matte one that she has to offer. So that's why I picked up this shade. All right, I had to go grab a foundation brush real quick. So most people use this as like an under foundation glow. You can use it on top as a very natural, minimalistic kind of like highlight. Or some people actually wear this all over the face if the match for their face is good, and just apply a tiny bit of concealer and they're good to go. But yeah, it's just such a pretty, like, natural, sheeny kind of product. I would agree that it's a bestseller. All right, there is a couple of foundations on this list, and I do agree with the ones that I have personally tested out. The first one I see is the Armani Beauty Luminous Silk foundation, which I absolutely love, and I'm using this today because I have not picked this up in a good minute. I also see the Ilia Serum Skin Tint. I have not tried that. The Estee Lauder Double Wear, also have not tried that. I know. Right. The Too Faced, no, that's the concealer. I also haven't tried that. Can you believe it? The NARS Light Reflecting. Love that foundation. It is so good, and every time I wear it, I'm like, why don't I wear this more often? The Merit foundation stick, also a really good one. I do enjoy it. And I think that's it for foundations. So like I said, we're going to jump in to the Armani. Let me get you a price. It's a pretty pricey one. $69 for this foundation. You get the normal 1 fluid ounce. So yeah. I do enjoy this though. It's pretty and I feel like it's been a staple in so many people's makeup routine for quite some time. I wear the shade, what shade is this? 5.9. I think it should be an okay match. I'm pretty sure I already mentioned it, like, because I think the video before this one that I post of the quickie eye look, I mentioned that I got sick over the weekend. It was like a mild cold. I've been washing my face but not doing the complete routine like I normally do in the past 2 or 3 days. But yeah, it's just so pretty. I love it. Even though it says it's a luminous foundation, I would say it's more of a satin finish than a luminous foundation. Almost everybody I know that has tried this foundation, they absolutely love it. Okay. See how beautiful and natural that looks? I love it. Definitely agree, bestseller. Okay, now for concealer. Ooh, did forget to mention that I used the Jumbo Base from Sonia G for the foundation. If I do forget to mention it, more than likely it's linked down below. Okay, now for concealer. A couple of options. The NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I have a mini here. This is the shade Custard. I think I will be using this today. The Kosas. I do enjoy that concealer, but it's been a minute since I've picked it up, so I wouldn't say that I completely 100% agree. The Rare Beauty Positive Light Under Eye Brightener. I do feel like this is a really great product. Not full coverage, very light coverage. It's for like your super minimalistic days. The Too Faced Born This Way Concealer. I have not tried that. I know, crazy. And I think that's it for concealers. Yeah, we're going to use the NARS and then we'll see if I add a tiny bit of the Rare Beauty. Okay, like I said, I have a mini. Ooh, I didn't even tell you what the NARS retails for. NARS retails for $32. The Rare Beauty retails for $24. So a more affordable kind of concealer. Okay, Custard, like I said, is the shade I got. This NARS one is a very nice one. You can definitely build it up to full coverage. I don't like to. I do find that if I wear too much of it, my under eyes can look pretty cakey, so I just do like a normal amount. BK Beauty 110. Yeah, it blends out so seamlessly. Every time I pick this up, I remember how much I do really enjoy this concealer because it truly is such a good one. When it comes to base products, I do feel NARS has pretty good formulas. I'm going to jump in just a tiny bit into the Rare Beauty. Like I said, this is more of a lightweight item. Same brush. Okay, here is what my base is looking like. Very pretty. Definitely agree with those two items, the NARS and the Rare Beauty. I can see why they are best sellers. Okay, now for cream bronzer, cream contour, and cream blush. I enjoy going in with cream products before I start layering my powders. So for cream blush, I see here, let's talk about cream bronzers first. Okay, so I did see the Rare Beauty bronzer stick. I do enjoy that. The formula is great. The shade I have, I don't enjoy as much as other shades. It's a little bit on the orange pinky side. I also saw, let's see if I can find it, the Patrick Ta bronzer and contour duo, which I do have. This is in the shade She Sculpted. He has, since that released, added 2 more shades, which is great. I love to see it. We will be using that today. And also the Charlotte Tilbury, I'm pretty sure I saw it. The contour wand. Yeah, here it is. The Hollywood contour wand. So we're going to use this and the Patrick Ta. The Hollywood contour wand from Charlotte Tilbury retails for $42. Unfortunately though, there's only 2 shades available. I wish she would expand the shade range in these. For the Patrick Ta, it retails for $40, which is actually pretty good considering you get a cream contour and a powder bronzer. So I will be using this, the cream. I think I'll use this as well as the Charlotte wand, and then I'll use the powder bronzer for once we're ready to powder. Okay, so let's start with the Charlotte wand. I have it here in the shade Light. Like I said, sadly, there's only 2 shades available. That is just unacceptable, really. I wish she would expand on this. Now, this formula seems scary when you first apply it, but it's actually pretty sheer. I wish that the component was different. I'm going to jump into the BK Beauty 111 and you're going to see just how effortlessly this blends. And see what I mean by like it's sheer. So I can see how she could say like, oh, you know, this works for so many skin tones, but I just feel like only 2 shades is a slap in the face. I wish she would expand on the shade range for those. Now we're going to jump into the Patrick Ta. Like I mentioned, she's sculpted. I'm pretty sure she added 1 shade between the light shade and this one, and I feel like that one would probably work for me as well. But I'm going to jump into the cream. The cream, I would definitely say it can work as a bronzer and a contour. It's pretty neutral on my skin tone. And I feel like the formula is really nice. I enjoy it. Same brush, blends out effortlessly as well. Okay, so for cream blushes, only 2 choices. The Rare Beauty liquid blush, and for the Patrick Ta, the Major Headlines cream and powder blushes. On the picture, see how it's that bright pink? It's like that recent shade he added around the time that the Barbie movie came out. I do own it. What is it? She's Giving. So I don't know if it's on the list right now because of this particular shade or because Patrick Ta's blushes are just bestsellers. I feel like it's a little bit of both, but I have used this quite a bit and I do enjoy it. This color actually works for me. I do have a review of it on my channel, but I'm going to use the Rare Beauty because I have not used it in a while. And for this one, I am very careful of how I apply it because the shade I have is pretty dark. So this is the Soft Pinch Liquid Blush and it retails for $23. And this is the shade Love, which is like a pretty, I want to say fall shade. It's like an orangey terracotta kind of shade. Really, really pretty. So I apply it to the back of my hand and then I apply it on my cheek just because it's pretty dark. But do you see that? It's so pretty. So yes, I would agree that I could see why it's a bestseller. Okay, powders. I did accidentally already set my under eyes. I totally forgot that I do have one of the bestseller items on here that I enjoy or can make work for my under eyes, and that is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Powder. So I have a mini. This is in the shade One Fair. And I do really enjoy this. I just have to tread pretty softly because it can look cakey. I don't know if you can see, I do have a dent in this little mini pan. And then when she released this in one of her special releases, I forget which one, it's like a brightening shade. I have this one. It's the same formula, I feel like, just different shades. So I used the like the translucent white one. For my under eyes, $48 is what the normal pan size retails for. It is refillable and it is available in 4 different shades. I definitely feel like she could probably add to that. Okay, so the other powders on this list, the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking Powder. A lot of people love that powder. I only use it for setting the rest of my face, and I prefer to use it during like the hot season. I feel like in the winter it's a little bit too drying for my skin personally. The One Size Ultimate Blurring Setting Powder, but in the picture here it has the pink one. So I don't know if it's on this list because of the pink or because just in general. I did try a little sample of it and I did not like it. It's too drying, way too drying for my under eyes and for the rest of my face. The Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder, I think that is a staple in so many people's makeup and has been for years. It truly is a beautiful powder. So if you ever want to try it, I think you should. I think there might be minis available, but it's a good one. It's a really good one. And it's been in a lot of people's makeup routines for years for a reason. So yes, I do agree with that one. The Givenchy Prisme Libre, which is the one that I will be using today. Also a really good one. I've had this for a couple of months. I didn't believe the hype until I tried it, and I do agree it's a really good powder. So I think that is it for powders. So we'll go into the Givenchy. Okay, I have it in shade 2, and I believe it's meant for like light skin tones. I feel like sometimes when I buy the powders, translucent powders that are meant for my skin tone, if I stick to what they're suggesting, it's a little bit too dark. So I always go with one shade lighter. And it retails for $59, but they do have 3 shades available in mini. So if one of those shades works for you, you can get the mini for $29, which is great. This is the Make Beauty powder brush, and I'm just going to set the rest of my face. Like I mentioned, I did already set my under eyes with the Charlotte Tilbury. It does have a scent, perfume scent. If you don't like that, you might not enjoy it, but it's not too potent. It does go away. Okay, for powder, bronzer, the Patrick Ta, go ahead and go into that. But let's talk about powder blushes. The Patrick Ta is on there because it's the duo. The new Hourglass holiday palettes that they just released, those are also on this bestsellers list. But like I said, when it's a recently launched item, I would take that with a grain of salt. They're very popular because they just recently got launched. I do agree though that it's a great product. I just don't know if it's going to be a big seller 4 or 5 months from now, you know? And I think that's what I saw as far as powder blushes. So what I'll do is I'll use the Patrick Ta bronzer, the duo, as the powder bronzer. And then I'll use the Hourglass face palette for the blushes. Okay, so the Patrick Ta and She's Sculpted. I'm gonna jump into the powder side. This is a Sonia G Classic Cheek. And I do have to be a tiny bit careful with this one because like I said, it runs a tiny bit on the orange side and I can go a tiny bit overboard. Okay, and I have the Tiger palette in the Owl component. And I'm going to jump into these 2 blushes. This one's a tiny bit too metallic for, I don't want metallic right now, so. Okay, and this is a Sonia G Soft Cheek. I would agree with the Patrick Ta Duo Bronzer and Contour being a bestseller, which I already mentioned earlier when I used the cream portion. For this Hourglass, I feel like the individual items could potentially be a bestseller, but right now I feel it's on that list because it's a new launch. I wish they wouldn't include like new releases, you know, because then you would know truly if really is a bestseller. Okay, so as far as eyeshadow, all of the palettes, which is only 3 that are on this list, are fairly new releases, and I don't have any of them. The new Danessa Myricks Lightwork 5 palette. It looks beautiful, but it's a lot of special shades in one palette for $125 when I don't even use special shades like that too often.
So that's why I'm like,
maybe in the Sephora VIB sale, I'll grab it. The Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes eyeshadow palette. I decided to skip on this because I mean, I have the Master Mattes from Makeup by Mario, and then I could just add shimmers and boom, I pretty much have this palette. So it wasn't special enough for me to actually pick it up, which is crazy because the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude, I felt like it was special enough for me to pick up and review it. But if you have the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude, then you probably don't need the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette. And the new Patrick Ta Major Dimension 3, it's the all matte eyeshadow palette. I own the first one and the second one, so I decided to skip on this one because I don't need another all matte eyeshadow palette. For the eyebrows, the Brow Wiz from Anastasia Beverly Hills, which has been a best seller for years. I want to say like 10 years, maybe even longer. And the only other item I saw was the Benefit 24-hour brow setter. So I'll be using the Anastasia and this off camera because eyebrows are boring. And those are the only eyebrow items I see on here. And I do agree, 100% agree with those choices. As far as the eyebrows, for eyeshadow, like I said, I don't own any of them, so I can't tell you if I agree or not, but I will say that the Patrick Ta formula is really nice, and the Master Matte's eyeshadow palette from Makeup by Mario is one of my favorite palettes. Take that as you will. Okay, eyebrows are done. Used the, like I said, Anastasia brow pencil. Dark brown, I believe, is the shade, and then the Benefit eyebrow gel, which I do really love, and that was my full size purchase after a mini size, and I'm pretty sure I will be finishing that up soon. I did put on mascara because I do remember only seeing one mascara on this list. I'm just making sure real quick. Yeah, the only mascara on this list is the Ilia Limitless Lash Mascara. I love this. I'm pretty sure this is a sample that I got for free, and I'm going to purchase a full size once I finish 2 of the regular size mascaras I have. Retails for $28. The wand is super interesting, and it's apparently a Best of Beauty from Allure back in 2019. It should still get that award because it's a fabulous mascara. Okay, for highlight, the only one I see on here is from Rare Beauty. Apparently people are loving that. The Positive Light Silky Touch highlighter. I did not purchase that. It looked like a too blingy of a highlighter, which I personally don't go for these days. Yeah, oh, and the liquid one from Rare Beauty. So both from Rare Beauty. All right, they're doing something right. Oh, and the Say Glowy Super Gel Lightweight Illuminator. Also another one I haven't tried. I've heard great things. It's pretty much close to like what Charlotte Tilbury does with the Hollywood Flawless filter. Okay, so I think I'm going to jump into the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter as a natural kind of highlighter. So I put it on the back of my hand, and my absolute favorite brush to use for liquid or cream highlights is this BK Beauty 113. I have tried using other brushes and they just don't work the same. So it must be the bristles, and it does not lift my makeup at all. It applies everything perfectly. You see that? So pretty. So many different uses for this product, and I think that's why it became such a great seller for Charlotte Tilbury. Okay, we're just about done. Lips. Now, this list does change because I do check this list probably about twice a month. And I do see different products going in and out of the list, in case you were wondering. Okay, so for lips, I also didn't see too much on there. The Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm. I hear great things. I have not personally tried it. The Rare Beauty Soft Pinch Tinted Lip Oil. I don't feel it's a lip oil. I feel it's more of a lip tint, but not a long wearing lip tint. The Dior Lip Glow Oil. Also hear great things. Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat Lip Liner. I can see why it's a bestseller. It's great. The Dior Addict Lip Glow. Have not tried it, but I've also heard great things. The YSL Candy Glaze Lip Gloss Stick. I have also heard great. I feel like that's going around on TikTok right now. The Mini Pillow Talk Lipstick and Lip Liner Set. I have that. Love it. Okay, so I think we'll use Charlotte Tilbury. I'll go in to Iconic Nude, and then I'll go and grab my Rare Beauty lip oil thing. Iconic Nude is just that perfect contouring kind of shade for my skin tone. Okay, for the Rare Beauty, I have it in the shade Hope. It's a pretty pinky shade. I don't know if I 100% agree with this one. I mean, it's nice, but I don't see how it's a bestseller. And these aren't super new. They've been out for a while, so obviously people are still buying them if they're on this list. And the glowiness goes away fairly quick because, like I said, I feel like it's more of a very lightweight lip tint that offers the tiniest bit, and I mean the tiniest bit, of hydration. Okay, and I do remember seeing a couple of setting sprays, or maybe just one. No, a couple. The Urban Decay, which of course, iconic, and I mean, I could see why. Ooh, the Tower 28 SOS Daily Rescue facial spray is on here. Is that like a refresher kind of spray? I've never tried it. The Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I don't know why I don't love that one as much as everybody else does. I don't know why. The Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof. I have both of those. I think the Urban Decay is still packed up for when I did my friend's makeup. So let's go into the Charlotte Tilbury. It's a nice one. I just don't feel like it makes my makeup last forever. And the sprayer, you gotta be careful with it because it can. It does smell pretty lovely, so. Okay, my lovely, so here it is. A full face with Best Sellers from Sephora. Like I mentioned, this list does change. Today is October the 16th, so I bet you anything, if I check back next week on this list, a couple of things will probably be different. So according to right now, October the 16th, these are Sephora's best sellers. I do agree with a good amount of them, not all, but I do feel like my makeup proves
that they're bestsellers for a good reason.
Okay, my lovelies, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I've been wanting to do this video, and I think I have done it before. I'm not sure. I know I have filmed it, so maybe it just never made it onto my channel. Yeah, I've been wanting to do this video for quite some time because I do check the Sephora best sellers just mainly to see what people are currently purchasing, and it's interesting to see some of those on there. There's always a little bit of everything. There's not always an eyeshadow palette on the list. Since those 3 eyeshadow palettes were recent releases, that's why they're on the list. But yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much for being here, my lovelies. I appreciate every single one of you. You have no idea. All the comments, all the likes. If you use my links to shop, it truly does mean the world to me. So with that being said, I would love it if you gave this video a big thumbs up, and also don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see you all on the next video. Bye.